Have you ever asked yourself about communication? Do you know what communication is, and if you do it right? Are you sure you communicate correctly and that your students understand? When we communicate, we are just transferring information from one place to another. And the main and only objective is that we are understood. When we are not understood, then we are not successful at communicating. And when we are not understood, it may be because something in the communication process may have failed. Let's take a look at the communication process. There are 4 important and always necessary things for the communication process: the sender, the receiver, the message, and the channel. The sender sends the message. The message moves through a channel towards the receiver. There are different kinds of channels. For example, face-to-face conversations, telephone calls, text messages, email, internet, radio, TV, brochures, etc. According to your audience, it is very important to choose an appropriate communication channel. For your students, is face-to-face only enough? What about graphics, pictures, etc.? In the process of communication, there are some barriers that provoke misunderstanding or not understanding at all. A few of these barriers are emotional, lack of attention, or irrelevance to the receiver, physical disabilities, culture, etc. Do you face these barriers in your classroom? Are you aware of which barriers interrupt the communication that you should have with your students? So, communication is not as simple as speaking or writing. There are other categories of communication, such as verbal and non-verbal, which really influence the understanding of the receiver. Both categories are not isolated, but as people communicate in different ways these days, such as phone calls, teleconferences, chatting, etc., they tend to individualize some more. We will work with these types of communication in a further video. Now, reflect upon the questions we have been asking throughout the video. You may refer to the material for further information.